we were discussing the new trailer for Sister Wives, and someone made this comment. I was saying, gosh, I hope Meri really, we really get some good frustration from Meri, because I feel that she has every right to be really mad at how Cody has treated her and how Robin has treated her. And if you watch the episodes, it's like super apparent. And someone pointed out, Meri said she was nice in these episodes. She said she wished she had seen Cody's scenes before the tell-all, so nothing good from her in terms of like the content that I wanted. And I am familiar with what this person is referencing, which is in Meri, I think one of her like Friday with Friends, remember the episode where Cody was like, all of Meri's friends are a bunch of mean girls. They're a bunch of B words, she was like, I had no idea he said that when we filmed the tell-all. And I was trying to still be respectful and kind of mature. And I am frustrated with that attitude, but but that is how she wants to handle it. The same way that Christine handled her separation different than Janelle. Janelle and Meri are handling their situation different. I have complicated feelings about it, but I respect the fact that Meri is trying to make the best choices for her. And I kind of go, gee, I can't really fault someone for trying to make the best choices. But I think this is crap in terms of Sister Wives filming the tell-all without allowing her to see the entire season. It is unbelievable to me, because the whole point is, it's okay. I know we still call them tell-alls. They now call them interviews because they're not even pretending that they're tell-alls. But I think having her go in there, asking her about her relationship with Cody, and having a huge bomb like that, and having her not know, it's basically lying. Like, if you're going to do that, then show the interviews only after the episode that she's actually seen. Because, I mean, for all we know, these interviews should have been after last season. Because if they haven't seen the whole season, now, obviously, when they're doing the talking head interviews, as they're often called, the talking head interviews, which are, well, it's not this, because she's talking to Jen in this screenshot, but where they're sitting there and they're talking to the camera, based on what I've seen, sometimes they have seen the footage they're referencing, and sometimes they're doing it from memory. And the reason I say that is, it's not uncommon for, let's say there's a scene, and then we have Janelle in her talking head interview saying, yeah, Cody was being a real pain in the butt. And then they'll cut to Cody in his talking head interview, and he'll be saying, Janelle thinks I'm a pain in the butt. Well, let me tell you what I think about Janelle. So it's clear that either they see some of these interviews, or they are being told what happens in the interviews. But the fact that it's not consistent, to me, is really frustrating. And it does seem, in my opinion, that Cody and Robin seem to be giving more heads up to what the others are saying than Meri, Janelle, and Christine. Additionally, I want to do a whole video on this, Suki is so much harder on Meri, Janelle, and Christine than she is on Cody and Robin. Now, it's possible that she's hard on Cody and Robin, and they either cut it out, which is what I think they used to do. I think now the editors are like leaving the footage of them being butts. But I remember when Meri had the catfishing situation, they went in hard on her. You know who they didn't go hard on? Cody, who they had to have known. They had to have known that Cody, wasn't at her house. He wasn't in a relationship with her. They had to have seen that he was neglecting her, that he was never around, that he wasn't sitting with her, that he wasn't doing this, that he wasn't doing that. But they didn't ask any questions about that. And in fact, one of the episodes I saw, they did ask him about something, and he was like, I'm not going to talk about that. It was one of the first times that I remember them showing footage of Cody refusing things. And they went in hard on Christine, and they've gone on hard with Janelle. And, Christine, Meri, and Janelle play the game. They're paid to do a show. I think that they feel, if I'm paid to do the show, that I need to be as honest as I can, and that if I refuse to answer a question, I'm going to be respectful about it, and I'm going to explain why. Such as, there was a time where they kind of all said, we don't discuss that, which is birth control. And they kind of were like, here's the deal. We don't tell each other this answer to this question, so we don't feel comfortable answering on TV. And I go, you know what? I'm still nosy, but that at least makes sense. Whereas Cody will blah, 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 and run his mouth. And then when they ask him about it, he's like, I don't want to talk about that. And it's like, funny, you wanted to talk about it when you didn't have to answer questions, when you could just say everybody else was rude. So it does bother me that they go in so hard on Meri, and to a degree where I'm like, geez, lay off of them. But then Cody and Robin, they're like, oh, I know this is so difficult for you. Anyway, I'm all worked up this morning. Great observation. I'm really frustrated for Meri because that's just not fair. Like, they should have been like, here's the footage of him calling your main support system and the only people who've really had your back for decades. Bunch of B words. How do you feel about that? And then they should have just let her go. It would have been better TV too. Like, what's going on?